The rings are worn very badly. Can't even move the ring. See, the ring's seized up or gummed up in there. Zero compression. The only compression would have been coming from the oil ring. Oil rings are still moving. Top two rings are totally gummed up, seized. I'm going to try and get them out, clean it up, and see if I can just put the standard rings back in it, save the piston. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I can do that. Otherwise I think it'll clean up okay. The bore definitely needs a hone out. I'll give that a hone. Cam looks like it's been hot. Looks like it's seen some heat. The valves weren't too bad. They weren't bent. I thought they were bent because the timing was out. Timing was set to fire top dead center on the fire mark, not the T, but they're not bent. I'll take them out and reseat them, some valve grinding paste, and put some new valve stems in it. I'll put a whole top set gasket kit back in it. Otherwise, I'll give it a big clean up. Head bolts, we'll give them a clean up. They weren't too bad, nothing stripped coming out. Very lucky there. No helicoil come out of the threads. So I'll just clean them up. They'll clean up nicely. Won't do much in there. Just clean up a heap of bolts. But yeah, all in all, it's just the rings. Totally gone in them. You can't even move those rings. I'll try and pick them out and save the piston. Try and do everything on the cheap on this one. That was the plan, that's the idea. I think I can get away with it. Okay, so I'll give it all a clean up. There, the rings, they came out. They were very well stuck in there. I've cleaned them up. Cleaned up the piston where the rings go. And they seem to be fairly free now. It's a standard size piston. I might just throw it all back together. Those rings are freed right up now. I know what size piston it is. So while I'm waiting for parts to come online, it looks to be up to about 3 or 4 weeks. I'll just throw it together and see if she'll fire up. I've given the bore a little hone out by hand. Definitely not perfect, but I don't know. I've seen them worse and seen them running, so I'll throw it back together. Clean the head up a little bit. Clean the valves up. Give it a nice clean up. Very nice and clean. Cleaned up the head bolts. So yeah, now that I'm waiting for the piston to come, the rings and the gaskets, I'll just throw it together, see if she'll fire up now that those rings are moving. Oh well, I might do that tomorrow. Hey, back again. I was pretty keen to get this bike back together today. After yesterday I was pretty impressed how those rings cleaned up in the piston. They cleaned up pretty good. Surprised how they come out. I thought I was going to break them or bend them coming out. It was either go one way or the other. I was pretty fortunate. Ended up coming out. I sanded them all down. I'll show a few pictures there, I think. Did the timing on it, the valves, an O-ring for the Kickstarter, It'll leak out there for sure. But yeah, the only concern is the rings, I guess, if they hold up or not. They did go out of shape when I got them out, but they stayed flat. They sort of just spread out a bit extra. I'm just concerned on those. Hopefully they'll come good. Might just wear in with the heat. And the head gasket was another concern. It pretty much fell apart in 3 pieces. It's 3 layers. I cleaned it up and put it all back together. Hopefully that'll hold up. Anyway, I was pretty keen to get it back together this morning and fire it up. Feels like it's got a bit of compression there. A lot more compression than what it had. Got the exhaust sorted on it. Got that fixed up. Come up alright. Yeah, a bit of oil residue there from putting the top end in. I'll give it a degrease down, hopefully, if it runs. I've given it a big spray with Start You Bastard. It's got some fuel in it. Carbies are definitely clean. I reckon we'll give her a kick in the guts and we'll see if it'll fire up. All good, I reckon.